Hello, dear children. The adventures of the clever fox and the yellow chicks continue. The chicks escaped from the fox's den in search of their real mother. The third adventure tells the exciting and interesting events that happened to them during their journey. Sit back, listen carefully, and keep your eyes on the chicks. Let's begin. The Fox and the Chicks, Series 3. The chicks search for their mother. The chicks set off on their journey to find their real family. It was their first time going on such a long trip. Moreover, they didn't know the way very well, but nothing could stop them from going on this adventure. As they walked through the bushes, their feet hurt. After walking for a while, they suddenly encountered a wolf. Terrified, they started running. The wolf looked at the little fox, but he didn't seem kind at all. He kept chasing them, ready to attack if he caught them. The chicks managed to escape by hiding in a large blackberry bush. The wolf didn't dare enter the thorny bush. He waited for some time, hoping they would come out. But when he realized they wouldn't, he left in search of other prey. The poor chicks' hearts were pounding with fear. The thorns scratched their tiny bodies, but they preferred a little pain over being eaten. To be sure the wolf was really gone, they waited for a while. One of them said, "I told you we shouldn't have left out here. We will either starve or be eaten by wild animals." Another chick replied, "You are such a coward. Should we turn back just because of one difficulty?" Once they were sure the wolf was gone, they carefully stepped out of the bush. When they had rushed in, they hadn't felt pain much, but now their feathers got caught in the thorns and it hurt. Still, they managed to get out. Their faces, wings, and their feet were covered in scratches. They were in pain and had difficulty walking. After walking for a while, they realized they were lost. Unlike the fox, they didn't have a strong sense of smell. They kept walking, and soon darkness surrounded them. They could hardly see anything. Then they remembered what their fox mother had told them. The safest place to sleep in an unfamiliar area was in the trees. They quickly climbed up a tree and fell asleep. When the morning light came, the sound of birds woke them up. Their stomachs were growling with hunger. They needed to find food. A bird approached them and asked, "What are you doing here? Did you lose your way?" The chicks were thrilled to meet someone who looked like them. They told the bird their story. When they said they were hungry, the bird replied, "Follow me." The bird led them to a wheat field. The moment the chicks saw the wheat, they became so excited that they didn't know what to do. They kept eating and eating, unable to stop. It was as if they had forgotten all about their journey. When they finally remembered their mission, their bellies were so full that they could barely move. One of them sighed, "I wish we could fly like birds. Then we would reach our mother so quickly." Another chick replied, "Even if we were a bird, you wouldn't be able to fly after eating this much." They all agreed, "If we eat this much again, we'll never reach our destination," they said. That night, they climbed onto a tree and fell asleep early. The next day, they told the bird that they were looking for their mother, but had lost their way. This time, the bird said, "Follow me. I will show you the right path." Excited, the chicks followed the bird. When they finally found the right road, they thanked the bird and continued on their journey with hope in their hearts. Their mother and wondered how she would welcome them. As they walked, suddenly a loud boom made them freeze in fear. It was the same sound they had heard when they had escaped from a hunter before. They had barely survived back then. By the time they saw the hunter, it was too late. One of their siblings had been injured in the foot. The hunter was running towards them. The 4 uninjured chicks grabbed their wounded sibling with their beaks and wings. They all ran together. This time, they weren't sure if they would escape, but they couldn't give up. As they ran, they suddenly felt hunters' hands on their backs. "This is the end of our journey," they said helplessly. "We should never have left," they thought. But it was too late. They had no idea what would happen next as the hunter carried them away. The chicks cried while the hunter laughed with joy. Catching 5 chickens in one day was a great hunt for him. The chicks were so terrified that they fainted from fear. When they woke up, they found themselves inside a chicken coop, surrounded by curious hens. They couldn't believe their eyes. They had struggled for days to get here, and now the hunter, whom they thought would harm them, had actually brought them to their mother. Had the fox lied to them about the hunter? The hens looked at them and said, "Where did you come from?" One of them grumbled. "Are they going to share our food now?" The chicks were shocked. They hadn't expected a warm welcome. They explained why they had come and the hardships they had endured, but the hens just laughed. "Who knows which one of us is your mother? We had laid thousands of eggs. If we kept all our children with us, there would be no space left in this coop." The chicks couldn't believe what they were hearing. "This must be a joke," they whispered to each other. But as the hens continued their indifferent attitude, they realized it wasn't a joke. They didn't know whether to feel happy or sad. Their hearts were filled with disappointment. A little while later, someone threw wheat into the coop. The big hens rushed at the food so aggressively that the chicks were nearly trampled. Before they could eat a single bite, the wheat was gone, leaving them hungry. That night, they fell asleep feeling disappointed. Perhaps in their dreams, they were with their fox mother, who had always made sure they were fed, even if she had to go hungry herself. We have reached the end of this adventure. See you in the 4th chapter.